As a graduate student in 1997 at the Museum School in Boston, I made this mockumentary called Instant Millions, which you're about to watch. And I just briefly wanted to give a little context for what you're going to see. I'm going to mention Clement Greenberg, the art critic and champion of Jackson Pollock, who was famously the author of Avant Garde Kitsch, which he argued uh, for a division between high and low art. And he considered the abstract expressionists at that time to be an example of high art. And this film is definitely a mockumentary of some of the ideas from abstract expressionism, the genius of an individual gestural move. You're going to hear also about flatness and that obsession with getting back to a flat picture plane as opposed to the illusion of depth. Which brings us to Jackson Pollock, who Greenberg really championed. And I have a couple clips from a film made of him that you'll see kind of directly referenced in my film.
I can control the flow of the paint. There is no accident, just as there is no beginning and no end. Sometimes I lose a painting, but I have no fear of changes, of destroying the image. Because a painting has a life of its own, I try to let it live. This is the first time I am using glass as a medium.
So here's my movie, rescued off an old VHS tape in the basement a couple years back. Hope you enjoy it.
Scratch ticket. Recognizable trash in our urban environment. But they are a particular kind of refuse, iconic of hopes and dreams once vivid, frenzied, and then lost. What makes these scratch tickets, whose marks bear the anxiety and hope of their purchaser, so disposable? And what makes this losing ticket, seemingly the same, so valuable? The art of Jefferson Stauder seems at first obvious, trivial, and worthless. But scratch through the surface, and the deeper truth is revealed. A modern-day master who has traded in paint, canvas, and brush for a freshly ripped scratch ticket and a shiny new penny. Stauder was kind enough to allow us into his studio. This rare opportunity is the first footage of its kind.
give you a better idea of my methods, we've constructed a scratch ticket out of a plate of glass.
These are one, so you mean these will just never make it to a gallery? Or anything?
No, I'll probably throw them away later today. Something like this I can use.
Because?
I mean, out of this,
Yeah.
I mean, just overall, the composition, the expression. There's a lot of anxiety in the smart making.
Do you reveal all of the numbers, or are there
usually
some of them?
Usually, and I'll have ones where I don't really reveal any of the prizes.
Mm-hmm. But
you know, that's possibly usable.
Yeah.
But then there's other ones where I'll get most of the card. But see, something like over here, this kind of mark making is what I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So the winning is really, people always ask that, but it doesn't matter to me.
That's what strikes me as interesting here, is because most people play this game with a certain amount of desire, right? A lot of desire, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, but their work is terrible. I mean, I've seen the work on the street. I'll pick them up.
Yeah.
And people, I mean, you know, they don't have a touch for it, really.
Mm-hmm. More of something like a...
But in expressionism, in painting, you know, abstract expressions or whatever, they are covering up. They're taking a surface and staying true to it, like Clement Greenberg, that flatness, and they're covering up. I'm uncovering. I'm revealing. I'm getting beneath the surface of the picture plane. I'm in the picture plane.
But I think...
So I've gone beyond that rectangular surface in terms of flatness. I'm in the flatness.
But don't you think that's what they would have said too? The formal...
They could never go that far. They couldn't get in between the weave of the canvas. That's what I'm doing. And I think that's why those have been very successful.
The unique gesture of Jefferson Stauder. It is in his mark, its fluid expression of man's desire, its facile recognition of man's vulnerability, that distinguishes Stauder's work as uniquely valuable.
Underneath the fantasy, so afraid to actually grasp the